Hi artists, let's do some paper weaving. We are going to need a pencil, a ruler, and a piece of paper to create a paper loom. I am going to take my piece of paper and I am going to fold it in half. So I'm going to take my time and line up those corners and then fold it down the middle. The next thing I'm going to do is line my ruler up with that edge of my paper. So I want to look for the edge where those two pieces are folded together, or that open side of the paper. And I'm just going to line my ruler up with the edge of that page. Then I'm going to mark that with my pencil. Again, that is the open side of the paper, not the folded side of the paper. I am going to line my ruler up with that line, and I am going to mark every inch all the way down my paper. I am going to move my ruler to the bottom of my paper where that folded edge is. I'm going to make sure my ruler lines up with the edge of my paper again and mark every inch along the bottom. This way, I can line up those two little lines that I made and create a straight line that is vertical every inch along my paper. Now that every inch is marked off, I am going to use my scissors to cut along those vertical lines. So the scissors will be pointing away from me, open, close, all the way to that first line that I made. I don't want to go over that line because I don't want to cut these pieces off. I just want to create a space to weave between with my other pieces of paper. So again, we are creating a paper loom for our other pieces to go in and out of. If we were using thread to weave, we would call the threads going lengthwise the warp. Then our papers that we add and weave in between are called the weft. Here I'm just carefully folding my paper back on itself a little bit, just trying to even out that fold so my paper loom lies a little bit more flat. I am going to use these pieces of paper that I got from another project, these are scrap papers, to use as the weft. So I am going to use these to weave in between the papers that I already cut. So I am going to start on the edge of my paper. I am going to go over and then under every other paper. So again, over and under. So I am weaving back and forth in between these pieces of paper that I have cut. Once that colorful paper is all the way through, I'm going to push it up to the top of my paper loom that I've created. That way I have more space for the next piece of paper. This time, my paper is going to start the opposite way. So I am going to go under and then over. Again, under and over. So I am creating an opposite pattern as I go along. When that paper is all the way through, I'm going to push it up against the first paper that I added so that they're all really close together. I'm going to pick another piece, and then this one again is opposite. So I'm going to go over and then under all the way across. Again, the next piece is going to go the opposite way across my paper loom. So this one is going to go under and then over. I'm creating almost what looks like a checkerboard pattern. The last piece on the bottom is going to be the trickiest piece. So I am going to take my time, going slow, not ripping my paper. So I am going to, again, do the opposite pattern. So under and over, all the way across. Don't force the paper. If you need a little bit of help, you can raise your hand and I will come over and help you. The next thing I'm going to do is glue down the edges of my papers that I weave together so that they don't come off. So just gently lift up the edge of that paper and then glue it back down. Flip your paper loom over and do the same on the back side. Lift those little edges of the paper and glue them back down so they're not going to come off. Here's my paper weaving done on a paper loom that I created. Have fun with yours, artists, and be creative.